blame
observer.
Keg.
Keg, come on, man. Come on, Keg.
Where is Keg's father?
We're getting into the bans, ladies and gentlemen. Soniqs are starting on defense, so they will get to ban first. Here for the attacker onto Villa, and it's going to be Maverick. Not super surprising. He was banned in the last map, and this is another one of Maverick's strongest maps. Can create a lot of really annoying holes that Souls Girls likely could have taken advantage of. Second ban coming out, we could see a Ying, we could see a Glass, we could see the new Nomad. However, she hasn't seen a super high ban rate like a lot of people were expecting from her. But I would reckon it's not another hard destructor like we saw in Clubhouse. Yeah, it's going to be the Blackbeard.
No, it's going to be the Blackbeard. And honestly, what else would you really expect? He's an extremely annoying operator in the right circumstances. And it's more or less just the fact that you basically automatically lose the gunfight at the end of the day. There's not too much of a gunfight there to have. So once he initially gets those frags down, especially with that shield on, you can't shoot him in the head, and just easy pickings for Blackbeard. But Echo going to be removed next. Honestly, nothing much different.
No,
things. And Mira going to be the last. And once again, nothing changing. The last two operators are household names to be banned here on Villa.
So already that unpredictability we were hoping to see from Souls Guerrillas, maybe not coming through in the ban phase. Pretty much 4 operators that you'd expect to see. A couple of strong attackers made it through, but at this stage, kind of they have to. There's so many strong attackers that, you know, somebody, either Glaz or Ying or whoever it may be, is likely to slip through the cracks. We're going to be starting on Aviator Games, which is pretty expected. Generally, it's the go-to bomb site for teams here on Villa. And Mex is going to be bringing out the brand new operator, the Nomad. How do you feel about this one, Stokes?
All right, well, I saw an interview with Laxing where he said he really didn't see the use inside of Nomad, and I think that's honestly kind of comical. Like, I like Gabe a lot, but Nomad has a lot of uses, in at least my understanding of the game, okay? And the reason I say that Nomad has a lot of uses is the fact that she's basically a one-man army. You don't need anybody to push with her. You basically just put a drone in front of her, make sure she's okay initially, and then you can just leave her alone. She can do whatever she wants. And not only that, I mean, guys, if you solo queue, do whatever you want, pick Nomad on offense. You don't need anybody else. I mean, think about this. You set up your own flank watch. You set up everything. If somebody peeks into you and they take the wrong wide swing, they get knocked on their butt and you just shoot them on the ground. It's like beating up your little brother. Like, they can't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy. So that is the power of Nomad, and I think that she's extremely underrated by a lot of people inside of the comp community. I understand that there's other offenders that people believe have more utility, but she has her place. And I think on a map like this where there's a lot of roam potential, this is some place that she can be very effective.
ESL Rainbow Six does not condone beating up your little brothers. Just want to throw that out there. We'll get into the game, though. Finally, the attackers have been released, and they'll start their droning process. Again, a lot of these quote-unquote toxic operators being brought. Nomad, I think, can be put into that category, and then Glaz, of course, can be so powerful. Or kind of like a throw pick if the Glaz isn't hitting the shots that he needs to. However, Albunai playing that operator, I think I have a lot of faith in this guy. This is a man who, Chris Uzumeki actually, has talked a lot of good things about when we discuss this team. Souls Girls said watch out for Albunai, and honestly, since we've had that conversation, I've actually seen him do quite a lot of work. So Albunai, another really good player. Albunai Mex not loading. There's a lot of like talent on this roster, but it just seems like sometimes they're not able to work together and really get the results that they would like to see. Certainly recently they've done a lot better. Last week maybe not the greatest example of that, but up here against Soniqs, they're going to need to be bringing their A game. A minute into the round, not a lot going on yet.
We have the Buck underneath, trying to handle things, making a couple vertical angles, see if anybody's playing inside of the usual common spots. That's exactly what not loading is doing. Another angle going to be established from the Nomad of Mex. And as you said, some standout ops over here on the offense. They do have the Glaz as well as that Buck. So we have grenade potential as well as smoke grenades to possibly get a couple of those free kills that are household thing with Glaz. But lots of castles up over here on the east side of the map. You guys will see Super rotate back. No picks, not even any damage except done to not loading, but it's a very tiny amount. He's going to do a little bit to himself, but none to the opposition, as we are reaching that faithful 1 minute mark, and things are probably going to get pretty crazy here just any second.
Well, I would anticipate. You can see the flash grenades going out at the start of things. This could signal the push coming in. However, nobody getting aggressive just yet. Ghost waiting for the push to come on in. You see Goddess in the back lines as well. 50 seconds on that clock. Next is still down on the first floor. They want to be able to clear out a couple more of these players. You can see Buck doing a lot of work from downstairs. There's no roamers down here. I mean, there's not been a big aggressive play coming out from the Soniqs, and I think that's pretty much what their playstyle is. They like to play things very, very strategically, play things by the books, do what they need to. They've gotten it down so far that's going to be not loading, fall into the ground. That's Thatcher, who is no longer going to be able to be used unless he gets picked back up. And keep in mind, yep, there he goes, only on to 20 HP now, though. In 20 seconds, finally, something will happen. It'll be Mex taking down Super on the roam. Looks like he eventually went for something, but it'll be Avian who gets the refrag onto Mex and coming around into the hallway. Goddess finds the head of not loading. 3-on-4. These numbers are starting to tick down. Neptune throwing a couple of those, and there's going to be Ghost getting another kill, a headshot onto Temper. 2 players remain. One of them's already been down, he'll eventually get finished off 1-on-3. Not a lot of hope. Soniqs take round number 1.
A little bit of an error there by the offense, I would say. And I honestly, initial thoughts, at least on their takes, is that they're playing too hard for picks. And not only are they playing too hard for picks, because that's not really the bad thing. That's not what the error is. Their issue is that they're banking on Soniqs to make a mistake, rotate back in, do something along those lines. They're looking for picks, but they're not looking for picks in the proper way. They're not trying to push drones up, not trying to get aggressive anywhere. They're like, okay, we establish angles. Now Soniqs, make a mistake. And it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like they have the information. They know that you're holding these angles. They're not going to try and peek through or shift W where you get a free kill. They're not going to do that. You cannot count on the other team slipping up. You have to make them. You have to force that error. You can't just go, okay, we have the established angles. Now we're just going to sit here and wait. That does not compute.
Yeah, if any team's not going to make a mistake, I think it's the Susquehanna Soniqs. They've got so much experience. They're able to play together in the same city. They're based out of central Pennsylvania now. They've all been brought there under their brand new organization. So they've got the support behind them. They've got the fragging potential as well on their roster. They're just very, very well trained, and so you wouldn't really want to rely on making them make mistakes. But when you're running sort of a lineup, it's sort of what you got to do, because you're bringing that Nomad. What Mex is really hoping for is for somebody to roam, but you didn't see anybody roaming on the other side of Soniqs. It wasn't until very late into the round Super tried to go for a flank, and he did get shut down. You know, it was a successful roam clear, if you want to call it that. It was a successful deny of the roam, but ultimately they saw the lineup that they were up against, and Soniqs just said, yeah, we'll sit back and let you come to us. Worked out great.
Exactly, and actually, I'm gonna get a word from somebody over here inside of our production room that actually Laxing changed his stance on Nomad over to a positive one instead of a I really don't see the use for. So that's good. It's good. I appreciate that, guys. So Gabe's seeing a little bit of the light there for a second after they scrim with her for a little bit. I was gonna say, I was like, dude, she literally knocks people on their butt. Like well, think about it. If anybody in here plays MOBAs or anything along those lines, there's a difference between soft CC and hard CC. CC being crowd control. That's what that means. It means it gives you an adverse effect where it makes you harder to either aim or move or something along those lines. She has the best CC in the entire game. You can't do anything. You get knocked on your butt and nothing. You can't shoot, you can't walk, you can't do anything. She has the best CC in the game, so she definitely has a place in the lineup of an offense. But besides that point, once again, I think that they just need to try and find their footing. Get aggressive. Don't be afraid of that. You're bringing Glaz. You're bringing all these ops that have that ability to get aggressive. So play it. Don't be afraid just because it's the Soniqs. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just another person on the other side with a mouse and keyboard trying to gun you like you're trying to gun them. Nitro's still going to come out from Super. Is it going to connect? It's not going to do much damage to anybody except a Bunai. Hoping I'm saying that name correct. What is it?
Aubenai.
Aubenai. Oh my, speaking of Aubenai, Super's going to remove his head for him, though. No more Glaz in play for the offense. Half of the clock left. Didn't even expend any of those smoke grenades, so kind of a very sorry thing there for the offense, as they are going to lose one of their main ops to try and get this push down. Neptune's going to drop. He's going to see the Nomad. He's going to take her down. Might possibly go for 2, but no. Avian will find that with a shotgun. And it's just not looking good for Scylla's Guerrillas right now. Super going to find yet another. Will he find the third? He's getting in the gunfight with Nugs, but nothing's coming of it. Nugs all on his lonesome. A minute left on the clock. No, not even a tick of damage done to the Soniqs as they're running away with yet another round.
Are we seeing the same thing that we saw in round 2 of the last matchup? where it's a 1-on-5 and the last attacker just sits back, and yeah, this is exactly what this is. He's doing the same thing we saw in the last game. He's just going to sit back and give his team a little bit more of a timeout. If you weren't watching that last match where we explained it, I'll go over it again. He knows he has no chance of winning this matchup, right? He concedes that, okay, I'm not going to win the 1v5. He knows he can't use a timeout or anything, and he thinks that his team needs a bit of a pep talk. So they're taking this time, they're taking this opportunity to talk amongst themselves, talk about what went wrong in these last 2 rounds, talk about how they're going to improve for next round, and hopefully come out a little bit better. Now he's actually going to get aggressive. Maybe he thinks that the team has had their talk, but he'll get immediately shot down. AV with the shotgun outside the window will clean it up for Soniqs.
That's a fist bump around the room over there inside of Pennsylvania for the Soniqs. Going to reset here for round number 3 and see if they can make that 3 in a row. Scylla's currently just, again, they're trying too hard to try and make make Soniqs have an error, and they're just not finding any success with it. We have Abunai again. I'm hoping I'm saying the name correctly. Can you say it for me one more time? I believe I'm messing it up still.
Abunai. Yeah, you were pretty good there, Tom.
It's Abunai. It's just not harsh on the other end. I apologize, guys. Again, first week here, we're learning new names. So Abunai tries to go once again and find a pick off of somebody else's error. You're Glass. You have smokes. You can try and smoke off a separate angle, possibly get aggressive somewhere else. Get that drone game going. A big op that's been played throughout both of these games so far has been mute. Bring something to get rid of that. I mean, we're not dedicating EMPs. We're not using any utility to try and remove these mutes to try and find somebody with these drones. Try and get yourself some information, because that's been the biggest deal so far throughout this entire season, is the fact that the defense has so many information ops. It's been happening since year 1. Information is king on defense, and you're just allowing them to take away what little information you have on the offense.
Certainly, and especially when talking about the information operators, I think it's pretty important that the attackers, or both teams, work together in the fan phase to take away as many of those information gathering operators as you can. That's why you very rarely see operators that aren't info gathering operators get banned. It was a little bit strange last time we saw Jaeger get banned. It's not, the strangest, definitely seen Jaeger get banned in the past if a team wants to really play with grenades. But this map, things went basically as you'd expect. Both Echo and Mirror getting taken off the board. That's 2 information gatherers taken away from the defense. But as you said, they still got some more. They've got the Valkyrie. They're playing with the Valkyrie. They've got the Pulse. They're playing with the Pulse. Should they want it, they have the Maestro available to them. So there's so many tools. There's so much information the defense can try to gather. And so it's going to be really important the attackers can deal with that. This time they've done a good job at that, I think. They've managed to bring the IQ, which can really counter that Valkyrie, which even got 6 pick into. So a bit of a call from Nugs. And then also the Twitch as well can do a little bit of work in denying a bit of that pressure from the defense.
Offensive Scylla's Guerrillas going to have not loading on Buck once again, which means they're more than likely going to dedicate someone up top. Super, though, going to get aggressive to take down Temper. It's going to be the Habana. No more hard breach. That's a massive pick. I'm going to assume that's why he got aggressive right there. Saw her jump on drone, removes her head forward, but immediately going to get refragged. But if anything, that's a trade going in the favor of Soniqs. I mean, you lose the Valkyrie and that Nitro Cell, but you take away the only hard breach from the offense. Their only saving grace right now is if Loading's going to be able to find some picks from up top. I mean, either that or try and get aggressive with off of that Dokkaebi call, but they're playing so many aggressive angles inside of this defensive site right now. I mean, you guys saw the mute of Ghost actually sitting on top of a box next to the door. I mean, there's so much aggression going on this defense right now, and they're playing it smart. They're not getting overly aggressive. They're just playing those tight angles where they can immediately eliminate somebody. First logic bomb going to come out from Abunai as he's going to hop inside of Bicycle Storage. He's going to get smoked out, going to breathe in a little bit of that toxic smoke. It's not going to do too much damage, but what will do a lot of damage is Ghost SMG 11 to the head of Loading. So many headshots coming out so far this game. Is a lot of damage is going to happen to Mex. Not much damage on Twitch, but she has that F2, so it's not going to matter. She can still remove anybody from this game just with the click of a button. Speaking of removing people, God is going to find one of her own. This looks like it's going to be yet another round by Soniqs unless something magical happens here for the offense. Yet another toxic babe. Speaking of magic, Nugs and Mex going to fight 2 of their own. It's a 2v2, but not much health on Mex as it's 45 seconds left on the clock. This defense still trying to slow things down. Free Fire's coming out. Neptune's going to find Nugs. It's all left up to Mex. 5 health in a dream, ladies and gents. He's got the F2 in hand. He's going to have to try and find that initial frag. They're playing the cross, though. He's going to have to try and peek into somebody here. He has the bomb, though. 25 seconds left. He has to try and make a decision. Is it plant the bomb, or what is going to happen? He only has a very minimal amount of health. Waiting for the peek is Mex. They're going to play it smart, though. He knows exactly where they are, and he's going to get taken down by Neptune's. God is going to bait him out. That's a team play you want to see. If you are a Soniqs fan, it's going to be 3 rounds for the boys and girl inside of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the team play has been so good from Soniqs overall. Coming out, I saw it especially in that second round. I wasn't able to bring it up. But the way they're able to coordinate with each other, the way that they're so calm, and probably being in the same location helps out quite a bit with that. When they're put into these high pressure situations, they can still excel. And Scilla's Guerrillas, for their part, I mean, they did a good job bringing into that high pressure situation. As I mentioned, this is a team, they can clutch things out with the best of them. But that time against a team like Susquehanna Soniqs, it's just so tough. Losing out your hard breacher really early hurts them quite a bit as well. Temper falling. This is his first official match with the team, so maybe a couple bits of nerves. I mean, you don't really want your Habana dying that early. That should pretty much never be happening. I don't know, we didn't see it, so I don't know what the deal was with it, but the fact that he's going down early, there should be somebody either in front of him or watching him if he's on his drone. Whatever it is, he needs to stay alive in that situation if his team wants to have a better chance, other than just clutching it like I think they had to.
Scilla's Guerrillas is not finding much success here. I don't know if it's whether the lack of team play or communication, because right now it seems like they're trying to do a lot of solo pushes. It's more or less what Team Squad had issues with in that last game that you and I casted. They're more or less trying to make these solo plays that are just not having any effect at all, or there's just been these random events that have been happening that the Soniqs have been forcing to happen, like last round with Super jumping out, taking out the hard breacher. Now you're in a very bad spot. Can't get any hard walls open, which allows Goddess to play safely on that wall. And there's just so many things that the Soniqs are doing right that the offense just really are not countering.
Temper, a couple of operators actually being swapped around. You can see Temper moving to the Thermite, but maybe the bigger deal, Abanai going over to that Ying. So we saw this being played a lot on Clubhouse. We'll see it a lot here in the last match. Ying basically just died before he could get anything done. So hopefully Abanai will be a little bit more effective with it. Last time they attacked on this bomb site, round number 1 on Aviator, it took a really long time to get in. It was 5v5 until probably 45 seconds left in the map, or in the round, sorry. So if we see the same sort of thing, that'll be pretty good for Abanai. If they stall things out to the last second push, those Candelas can be so effective. But he's got to be careful that he doesn't die really early. He's got to be careful that he can play it pretty safe. And well, yeah, it's not going to be exactly the same. Goddess coming out from behind the plant, not loading, not expecting it. As he gets his head removed, it's going to be a 5-on-4.
Wow, that was brutal, dude. All I'm saying is, you know, Lodi's got a family, man. Wow, what a kill there by Goddess inside a 90 hallway. Heard the swing late, still wins the gunfight, and that's what you want from your support players. When they get put in a bad spot, they're able to gun themselves out of it, and that's going to put Scilla's Guerrillas in a bad spot. No control of 90. They're all only on one side, and it's going to be the south. Goddess is going to more than likely hear somebody rappelling up. She's playing the pillar, though. She's in a quite a peculiar spot right now. If she rotates out, she's going to get damaged. Elysian going to come out. A drone going to come out as well, excuse me, as they are just waiting. Actually, Goddess, again, we talked about her patience earlier. She's going to use that patience to its maximum effect, and actually Avian's going to find a kill over on the other side. It's going to be Mex, which means no more Twitch. Only 3 operators remain. They have control of 90, though. Goddess, with that patience game, once again, doing so well, finding so much success. Nugs, though, going to catch Super on the flank. It's going to get down to a 3v4. Still very winnable of the offense here. They do have complete control of Study, but they need to find at least one more frag here if they want to try and get any success. Goddess finally going to get taken down, but not without a lot of damage done to Abanai.
3-on-3 numbers all even now. You can see the attackers starting to work their way in towards this bomb site. That first, going for the impact trick. Not going to be fast enough, though. Neptune's a little bit slow on that grenade throw. Means that it's going to be nice and easy for Temper to open it on up. And here come the Candelas. Abanai running forward. He doesn't have much HP, and that's going to hurt him quite a bit. Neptune's from behind the bar will take him out. And out with the pistol. Oh, it's 2 in a row. Soniqs very quickly clean that up. And what was looking like it could have been a great attack from Scilla's Guerrillas quickly falls to pieces.
I think that was the initial idea behind that take. They pick up the Ying for the Kandalas. They have not loading push 90 aggressively. They want to try and get Goddess out of there, dig her out of that trench, and try and take over the hallway where they have that entire wrap around the site. Don't allow someone to flank back in or rotate back in to try and help these anchors. So right after they try and attempt that, just a quick kill by Goddess completely sets the tempo of the round for the defense and are able to win it out. And she played a lot of time over there on that side of things. It's actually insane. So rotated all the way over into the trophy hallway, or like the trophy corridor area, and just continue to play out her life, baiting as much time as possible. So very smart plays by her. And then even after that, the anchor players come out, and we have Neptunes get a pistol whip kill to finish things off. I mean, Soniqs is just on an absolute tear right now.
I think this is the result that most people are expecting from Soniqs. They've just got so much experience. They're so qualified. And, wow, they're going to bring out an interesting operator. This is one that has not been seen in a long time. Maybe we see her from time to time, but Ella being played by Super. Super maybe not the most effective player on his team. As you mentioned, the IGL, he calls a lot of the shots. They talks a lot of game as well, and I know when Manpants was casting in the last week, he sort of mentioned how Super maybe wasn't putting up the best stats, and again, we see him 3-3. In this situation, it's not bad. Like, the only stat that really matters is that big 4-0 at the top of the scoreboard. Whether you're making big flanks or calling for the information, it doesn't matter if he's not getting a 3.0 KD or anything like that.
That's a major thing that people used to harp on Goddess about is, oh, well,
yeah,
she's bottom in the leaderboard. Okay, well, yeah, well, she's also the person that feeds all the information to the team. That's why your fraggers are getting kills. Think about it. When you play with your friends and people go, okay, this isn't the stack. It's the fact that you guys aren't communicating and working well together. You have to mesh well. And Goddess in particular is somebody you can throw in and go, okay, we really just need you for the information. If you get a couple of kills in the process, that's awesome. But get our main gunners that information and let us frag. And that's exactly what she's been doing so far. And Super, as you said, 3-3 right now, but his frags have been so impactful. That Habana frag comes to mind when thinking of that.
Certainly. We saw in the last round their coordination as well. He came in for a flank, and oh, what is this? The blitz from not loading. You didn't have an opportunity to mention it, but Goddess is going to get shot in behind from that. Running away, the fear that it strikes into your opponents when you charge at them with the blitz. Not loading took quite a bit of damage to be able to get that kill, but either way, that's the Maestro off the board. That's a really important operator to take down early. That's going to take a lot of plant denial away from the defenders, should it get to that point when you're trying to come in and plant. Super also shut down by Nugs, trying to run across that hallway, gets punished hard for it. Great job by him and the Thatcher to be able to get that kill. And now they're going to be coming in 3-on-5. The attacker's in a great position here.
I like how the offense currently is not afraid to try new things. They've switched up operators quite a bit. They took Abinai off of Glass, gave it over to Max. They're not afraid to change things up, you know, mix the pot, try and find something that actually works. And I think they finally found it. Now, you know, a lot of players and a lot of people inside the chat won't be too happy about it. They got Blitz and Ying, but hey, this is comp. This is what works. If it works, keep doing it. I mean, that's what it is. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Wise man once said, I'm going to keep doing it till you die or it stops working. So there you go. They're finding quite a bit of success so far. The only bad thing is not loading on a very low amount of health. He's actually going to go for the peak. He's going to get taken down. Is the impact going to come out? Ying Kandala is going to come out. Is he going to go for the pickup? He is, but I'm very scared there's going to be an impact here that's going to meet his demise, but no. Lots of delays coming out. 2 Kandala's dedicated, and actually he's going to flash, not loading quite a bit. Temper's putting the bomb down. Where is he putting the bomb down at, though? I think he's putting it down over by Master. There's going to be a trade. Ghost gets 2. Neptunes finds 1. Nugs with a trade, though. 2v1 in favor of the offense. It's all left up to Avian, and he's on the flank. The diffuser is over by the Master door. Blitz, not very much health. Avian literally has to breathe on this man, and he will fall over. All he has to do is try and stop the plant. They know exactly where the bomb is. He's playing it safe. He believes that there's no cameras over here. I think that not loading knows where he is. Actually, no, he's just standing at the evil eye. Avian is playing off of the shield, and he's going to get the kill. He downs Nugs. It's all left up to not loading.
Oh my god.
Clutch. Oh my goodness, Soniqs. That's 5 straight for the boys and girl in blue.
You've got your shield, you've got your man at full HP to go for the plant. You just gotta watch the guy as he plants. You just gotta put it down. And they just waited for so long. And Avian, beautifully played by him in that 1-on-2 clutch. Coming in perfectly timed, did not miss a shot. And wow, no, that's the mark of a true skilled player. Someone with tons of experience. And Honestly, I thought, like, when I saw the lineup, yeah, it was a 2-on-1, but I thought, okay, Sills Guerrillas, surely they clutch this one out because this is so, you know, heavily in their favor. They've got the shield, they've got everything that works for them, but ultimately, they're going to go down 5-0, and that is not where you want to find yourself. This is the same situation we saw in the last matchup, 5-0 early. If we continue to repeat that same scoreline from last time, this might be the very first time that Sills Guerrillas get on the board.
Well, Corn, at this rate, we might be going to bed pretty early tonight.
Maybe.
I mean, I honestly thought the first game was going to be the most competitive match of the night. I pegged the other ones. I was like, it's either going to be something crazy is going to happen and the team that we believe is the underdog is going to rise up, or it's going to be an absolute wash. Right now, looking like an absolute wash. Lots of things that this team of Sills Guerrillas needs to work on, especially on their offensive side of things. I believe that just the comps aren't there on offense. I like how they're not afraid to try new things, though. I like how they're switching up operators, trying to figure out what works. That last round, just kind of a blunder.
Yeah, I think they're having more success than we saw from Toon Squad versus Disrupt. I think when they're trying new things, and they're trying new things more often, they're working out better for them. And we've seen a couple of rounds come right down to the wire where it's relied on Soniqs clutching them out, having a couple of great individual performances. The issue is that Soniqs are putting in those individual performances, and Sills Guerrillas really just aren't putting in the same work for it. So yeah, it's the same scoreline, but I think Sills Guerrillas can at least hold their head high, and that they've had a couple of rounds close to Soniqs. That might not make them feel any better. It might actually make them feel worse that they're losing these close rounds. Their mental state, we talked a little bit on the last game, could be very important here. But I think, again, it's important to note for them that they are up against probably the best team in the league, and while they should take their victories where they can get them.
Going to be a tough round here for the boys of Sills Guerrillas. Smoke Grenade going to go off for Goddess. Not going to touch uploading at all, though. And the main thing is that they've been having trouble with these mutes the entire time, but haven't really brought a Thatcher. Super going to find a kill. It's going to be Mech. No more Sledge. Quite a bit of damage done to Blitz. Blitz within 5 meters is able to flash you even if you're not looking at him. But speaking of flashing people, Neptunes is going to flash the gun. He's going to take him down. Super going to get a knife. Neptune's going to find yet another. It's a 1v5 and Nugs goes down. It's Soniqs all the way, ladies and gents, says it's going to be match point over in Pennsylvania.
My, that was a round. They started
that
things
went
off
from 0 to 100.
No, that was nuts. They started off with the Candelas on the Goddess, and at that point you're thinking, okay, great, push in, get the kill. But that didn't happen. Eventually we just saw somebody, it wasn't even the Ying who died. And then we saw the Blitz in a 1v1 where he was pushing down with just his pistol, his head totally exposed. I mean, Sills Guerrillas, maybe that just went a little bit too fast for them. Soniqs took them with the aggression. As soon as that push started to come in, Soniqs fired right back. They didn't let off on the gas. And I think SG just caught a little bit off guard. They can no longer win this matchup. Their best result would be a tie, and they would have to get 6 rounds in a row, just like Soniqs did. It's going to be tough. It's quite a mountain ahead of them. This is going to be their first chance to defend, and hopefully this will be their easiest chance. They get to choose their bomb site. They go wherever they want. They're going to have to go here onto Aviator Teams.
Neptunes having an absolute show right now. 9-3-1 is that, man. We have the Bird, Avian, 8-3-2 as well. And bringing up the rear, all the flex support players showing out as well. I mean, I don't think there's any stopping Soniqs in this map. I honestly think this is probably going to go to a 7-0 unless something drastic change for this defense right now of Sills Guerrillas. But I mean, we've seen crazier things in the past, let's be honest. If anything, this is going to be a big learning experience for this team. Main things that stand out to me, at least for Sills Guerrillas, especially on their offense, is just their lack of drawing, their lack of respecting information. They don't seem to really try and gain any and feed it back to anyone. They really just face check everything, even when mute's being played, you know? Like, they play the mute and they're like, okay, they didn't adjust to a Thatcher practically their entire offensive set. First round, we see Goddess on Thatcher. I mean, they're ready to try and get rid of these mutes because mute's been played so much since that SMG 11 got added. And honestly, he's going to continue to be played. So why not learn how to get around him? It's punishing a lot of these teams that are used to getting that information for practically free. There's nothing really to stop you. And I mean, just wait until Mozzie is inside a comp. You're going to have no drones.
So now it's going to be them on the defense. Scylla's Guerrillas. We can take a look at Soniqs' offensive lineup. Nothing too out of the ordinary. They are bringing that Glaz. That's Avian who's bringing that. Or Neptune, sorry, having a great game. He's initially going to get killed, though, and that's a second death from him. Instantly going to drop his KD from a 9 to a 4.5, but that's going to be a couple more Fury of kills coming down. Goddess from outside the building. A great shot onto Nugs. Puts the numbers advantage back into a 3-on-3. At this point in time, a lot of important operators have been taken off the board. The Buck, really important that he's gone. The Maestro as well from the defenders. Going to be a big operator to be taken off the field. We'll see, however, in a 3-on-3. Minute 35 to go. So still plenty of time. And oh, this information come from Scylla's Guerrillas. That could be so huge. They just saw the Glaz with that beautiful elite skin start to walk forward towards the red stairs.
Kind of peculiar that they bring 2 information operators on defense but don't do anything about the information game while they're on offense, right? I mean, just a little bit. It's like, okay, you respect it, you know it's there, but then you don't do anything about it when you're on offense. Kind of questionable. But, you know, you live and you learn. They're going to look back at this and go, oh, hey, this is really what we messed up. And oh, my goodness, he is Nitro Cell tricked at it. Well, at least he attempted to, but they don't have any hard breed. So Goddess's EMP is going to fall on deaf ears, or at least get rid of a mute. Allow them to drone a little bit more. 55 seconds left on the clock, and they're looking to see if someone will make a mistake. You see these tight angles being held by the Soniqs right now. They do not want to try and give this up just yet. Avian going to peek through the smoke bolt of the Capital. All of the bullets being thrown through that smoke right now, though, so it's not too safe for Avian just yet. Another one will go down a little bit deeper. Lauren still playing the other side, or excuse me, Goddess. She tries to get in a fight on 90. Avian will find one, but immediately gets traded out to 2v2. One rotating down 90. Mex will find the kill on the super. It's all left up to Goddess in a 2v1. Lots of damage on the Mex. He's going to get taken down. Only 1 to 5. Once he find the kill, no! It's going to be loading all the way from behind bar that takes down Goddess for the first round for Scylla's Guerrillas.
Alright, that's the start you need. That's the start you really want if you're the Guerrillas. It's a big round for you, right? It's when it comes right down to the wire, and you're able to get that clutch, you're able to get the win. I think that might even be better for them than if it was just like a 5-0 roll, because now they've really got the adrenaline pumping in them. They've got a long way to go, don't get me wrong. The mountain's still very high ahead of them, but that mental game going to be so much better, and Soniqs could be feeling a little bit tilted that they weren't able to clutch that one out, even though it was a 1-on-2. That one was so close. Goddess just could have hit that shot. This would have been over, but no, that is not the case. It's 6-1, and we're moving over to trophy statuary.
All right, as you said, this could be kind of tilting for the Soniqs, but this is something that you really can't be affected by. You know, this is more or less water off the bag. Just let it roll. Just let it roll. Just let it roll. I know there's something I've brought up quite a bit inside of Rainbow Six, and this is just inside of all, you know, pro esports sports as a thing, and it's basically the main description is the mind of a quarterback. And what that means is, okay, yeah, you might have thrown the ball and made the missed pass, somebody might have not caught it, you might have gotten an interception, but you can't let that affect you. I know that you tried your best, you tried your hardest, and nothing came of it, but you cannot let that affect you. You have to continue to play like it's a close game, and anything can happen. And I truly believe that the roster of Soniqs is not going to let that affect them. They're going to continue to try and just let this roll. It's a different site, but they still have the driver's seat. This team is trying to fight for 5 more rounds, fighting for their lives right now. And quite a peculiar cam there from Obunai. What he did was he actually shot a hole in the floor. I said his name wrong again, but it's fine. I shot a hole in the floor, went downstairs to laundry, threw it up to the floor so it would attach to the bottom of the bed. Very smart camera, because most of the time people will check that front little chair for a Valkyrie cam, and it more than likely gets shot. So very smart placement there from the Valkyrie.
Yeah, certainly that's going to be one that I think people start to catch on to, because that was really nicely placed. We'll see, however, this attack continues to go in, and I think I agree with you 100% when you're talking about this team as one who probably aren't going to let that mental game get to them too hard. They won't likely get down from that. Of course, they are all in the same room together. They're playing together in the same spot, which means that they're able to talk to one another much more easily. They're able to feed off of one another's emotions, really get each other back in the game. Even if somebody's feeling a bit down from it, it's not the end of the world for them. They can still make their mark and get themselves back into the game. We see here Neptune's walking forward on that Buck, still playing on the second floor, so of course not going to be able to blast from below should that be his plan, but well, we'll see how it goes for him. Still the dock being played by Mex as well, and operator we haven't seen yet today, bringing out that ACOG, going to be able to do a lot of healing to his team should he need to. And the first engagement coming down, and he's not loading on top of Ghost. Great gunplay coming out from him. He's really starting to pick up these last couple of rounds, winning that clutch in the last round, and then here getting the opening king. Neptune gets the second one, but it's the wrong player. Super will fall, and I don't know exactly how that happened, but that is a big misplay. You're putting your team into a 3-on-5.
That's going to be 2 less smoke grenades / bolts for the Glad. So Avian's only going to have his self-utility instead of having somebody else help him. Neptune's is actually going to rush directly to the bar, trying to see if he can find another angle. Picks up the diffuser. I'm going to start focusing back onto site. But right now, Soniqs has to try and close this out. They have the draw, but they don't want to slow down just yet. Neptune will find mechs. Find the kill inside of 88, but nothing going to come of the sort. Minute left on the clock as the offense is still trying to find their footing here on the site. Drone play coming through as Goddess has gotten rid of quite a few of these mutes. They're going to hear someone behind the statue, but they don't want to get too aggressive just yet. Biding their time until they decide exactly which room they want to try. There's still going to be plenty of information being fed back from the Valk cams. Long angles are getting taken up by the ACOGs. They know someone's inside a master bed. They know that they're locked in there as well. And Neptune is going to try and nade someone as you heard that pin get pulled. 30 seconds now. It's an EMP will go out. It's going to be a challenge. God is actually going to win that onto the Valkyrie. Crazy kill coming out. Avian going to try and find one of his own. He sees the foot, but I don't believe that he recognized it out. Neptune's going to identify him out from behind. Little fox statue. He's going to find yet another one. It's going to be all left up to not loading as he takes down one with a shotgun. He finds 2. It's all left up to Neptune's. I don't believe Neptune's knows where he is. Loading, going to play time, 4 seconds left. Neptune's going to have to try and dedicate somewhere. Is he going to go for the plant? No, he's not. And loading with the 200 IQ play to find Scylla's Guerrillas. Yet another round here on Villa.
That's his second clutch. He's gotten both of these rounds. Good on you to be able to shout out this player before we started, because he has been the difference maker since swapping over the defense. In that 1-on-3, brings up the shoddy boom body, takes down the downed player and the man trying to help him up. And then also that last one, just bides his time. Just sits in the back lines. Who cares? I know you got a plant. I know there's 6 seconds on that clock. I'm going to run away. What, do you got a plant? I'll just run up to you after the time is done out. And at that point in time, it's basically over. Really well played by not loading.
Rotates into the corridor because he knows he has a shotgun. If he peeks any angle in the corridor, he's automatically dead. That shotgun will rip anybody. This might be a big comeback starting here for the Scylla's Guerrillas, but Soniqs once again gonna try and just roll that water right off the back. They came so close to winning that even after a team kill and initial pick from the defense. So this is still anybody's game. That just what proves to you. This is why we play the games. 2 rounds already for the defense of Scylla's Guerrillas.
Now, for any bomb site, for any map, sorry, the 3rd round in a row, if the defense need to win 6 in a row, it's going to be really important, because the 3rd bomb site is going to be the one that they're least confident on, right? You won your first 2, those are both locked. Now you have to go downstairs to the dining room, and this is one where generally we see teams try to avoid as much as possible. Teams really like defending up on the top floor. Sure, we saw Soniqs do it twice when they had to go here, but it's going to be a big challenge for Scylla's Guerrillas. Those last 2 bomb sites, while not the easiest things in the world to defend, certainly did have an average that sided towards defenders a little bit more. This one, not the case. They're going to have to pull off a little bit of an upset. I mean, those percentages can't be relied upon too much for who's going to win the attacker defender, but this bomb site, statistically, it's going to be the hardest to defend that they're going to have to defend on.
Neptune's averaging 1.25 kills per round right now. Played 8 rounds. He's got 12 kills. That's an insane stat line. Usually, you know, you want to get about like 1 frag per round. You know, that's a very good percentage to maintain that, you know. That's where you want to be at, especially when you're that flex player. But to average 1.25, or even sometimes when we see people at 2.0, that is insanity. So great game so far from him, and I honestly believe if they feed him information right now, that could be the game changer. It came down to him versus loading in that last round, but I mean, loading just didn't seem to be a fan of Ring Around the Rosie. Just sat in place and bided his time, which ended up winning in the round. Max is actually getting pretty aggressive up here. This window's about to get punched. Actually, no, I take that back. It's going to get sledged. It's Neptune's with the hammer, going to bring it down. Trying to his best impression of Thor. Not going to find too much inside of the master bedroom. Minute 50 left on the clock now, ladies and gents. Is more going to be an information game by the defense. The offense here has to try and take this vertical control. The reasoning they want that vertical control is because that is what completely controls this site. If they're able to take that over, they have the sledge to break open the entire ceiling. Neptune's is going to be able to find quite a few frags from that position.
halfway through this round, and so far 0 kills being exchanged one way or the other, and that's going to be the end of that. Neptunes gets the first one, and Neptunes gets the second, pushes forward and not loading an Abanai, two of the top fraggers for the team. This could be the end of it. 3 kills for Neptunes, the head of Mex, his third victim, and that's going to leave just 2 anchors sitting downstairs. It's going to be Nugs and Temper back by the bomb site. Neptunes has been on a tear, and well, that'll be one thing for the defenders. Nugs gets one, and okay, Temper bringing it back a little bit. Ghost falls, and it'll be Super who takes down Temper, making sure there's no ace potential for his teammate. Running through into the building, and Super gets the second one. Susquehanna Soniqs take the match.
I love it when I make 200 IQ calls like that. I'm like, you know, Neptunes, if he goes off right here, I really feel like feed him information, he can win them this round. And that's exactly what's going to happen. 3 frags upstairs, doesn't need any assistance, puts the team on his back. 15 kills for Neptune.